So this is not really a post about religion or Jehovah's Witnesses per se, but for us ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and anybody else who's come out of like a high control religious group, whether that's Mormons or whatever, I don't even know how many there are. I think there's so many these days. But especially if we come out like on the later side of our lives. So I'm in my 40s now, and there's very much in the society, there's the idea, we're being fed this narrative that if you want to achieve something, you have to start really early, like in your teens, maybe 20s. So the celebrity culture is all about, young artists or young actors or young musicians. So that's kind of the the conditioning that's been out there for a long, long time anyway. People want to see youth. They want to see, young talent, and they want to see people without wrinkles, and, and then it's kind of like, especially for somebody who's maybe had interests, goals, hobbies, whilst being suppressed in a religious environment, for example, like Jehovah's Witnesses, where you're not really allowed to have a career or pursue your passion. If someone's into like sports or music or anything, it could be anything. And then when you come out of it, like I left when I was 37. So you almost feel like it's too late. Life's passed you by, you have to start from scratch. And I can honestly say I didn't have youth. I didn't have, I was married at 18. I met Jehovah's Witnesses when I was 14, got baptized like 6 months later. I would just turned 15. Then I got married at 18, got divorced at 32. Yeah. And then I left Witnesses at 37. And then I was obviously, focusing on my kids, being a single mom. So now I'm in my 40s and my children are in their late teens. I can actually go back to those dreams, goals, and hobbies I had when I was younger, like a kid or a teenager, things that I was passionate about. And it's almost like that, but am I too old now for it? And I'm trying to rewrite that story. And I don't know if any of my ex Jehovah's Witness followers on here, or anybody, who's come out of a cult in their later years. I mean, I'm saying later years, let's say post 30, post 40, 50, that sort of thing. And you kind of feel like you wasted your life, or you wasted opportunity, you wasted potential. And I'm trying to rewrite that now. And I don't know if anybody else is in that situation, excuse me, where you kind of want to get your life back, but you feel like you've wasted decades in a cult. And because the society has conditioned everyone that unless you start really young, you can't be successful. And I want to change that. And this is also about, like, it doesn't have to be about religious conditioning. It could be any kind of high control situation where, or even people, like who get divorced in later in life, and you start in your life from scratch. And I've been there, even though like I got divorced when I was 32. But every time you come out of a relationship, you kind of having to rebuild yourself and create a new identity. And I'm always telling myself, but why can't I start again at 44? Because I can. And like, I refuse to subscribe to that narrative that society is generally like, the patriarchy is made out that, especially for a woman, maybe for a man it's different, but for a woman, if you're not a teenager or in your 20s, then somehow you're too old. But I still want to sing, and I still want to write, and I still want to act, and I still want to perform, and I still want to do all the things I want to do when I was a teenager. And in my 20s, I still want to go back to my art. I still want to carry on my recordings of when I used to write music and write songs and sing. And I had classical training because I loved opera music. And I still want to go back to my poetry and my creative writing and do my novels, because why can't I start again? Why can't I start again in my 40s? I can. And yeah, I might not look young anymore. I feel young. So I'm just wondering, this is more for my ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and also anybody who resonates with this kind of message about starting over in later years. Excuse me, I've got a frog in the throat today. Again, this is me trying to speak my truth, and it's like, oh, should I say anything? Have I got the right to speak up? And that's something also, like, for a woman, I think it's a big thing to be loud, be visible, and stand up and say, no, I'm not going to be silenced anymore. So anybody else here starting over, whether that's post-religion, post-marriage, later on, because why not? Why can't people, and especially women, start again in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s? Because we can. And I think that's another way of, turn the patriarchy to go and do one, and not be, not having to focus so much on the youthfulness. And because youth is great, but the wisdom and the experiences of later life, they are so enriching, and I want to share that. And I still want to do the things I want to do as a child, and I never got the chance to do it. So I want to find like-minded people. So let me know what your thoughts are and experiences. So yeah, that's me a day before my oldest child turns 18. And I'm feeling quite emotional about it, because my oldest one is going to be an adult tomorrow, legally adult. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.